Welcome, unfortunate children, sons, daughters, and whatever you want to be called. This is another episode of Unfortunately Another Podcast, where we are going to go in depth talking about our favorite band, Metallica.
The GOAT.
Everybody's favorite band, pretty much. And the only reason why people will say it's not their favorite band is because everybody else is saying it's their favorite band.
And they're not heavy.
Yeah, that's like what?
They don't talk about
and
taking your intestines out of your body and splashing
And they don't
them
go
on
like
the
this.
ground.
Trash. Best metal band of all time, easily.
Like,
I mean, it's my favorite
easily.
band, but like, if someone had a gun to my head, I'm saying best metal band. You know, like I'll say, you know,
maybe best band. I mean,
it's hard to beat the Beatles.
And put it like this though,
ever, but it's my favorite band. That's the way.
But to put it like this too, like there's no one that's this much better than everyone else in their genre in any other genre.
Yeah, facts. And I know there's gonna be a lot of people out there. Well, what about Megadeth? Yeah, Megadeth is great.
Megadeth is amazing.
I love Megadeth.
And they're also
Megadeth is right here.
And they're also
and
way better
right here.
But Megadeth is also way better than every other metal band, in my opinion.
Yeah, or
like
thrash. Yeah,
I think like mainly metal.
Most metal. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
like who would you put over them?
I mean, probably Black Sabbath for sure.
Yeah, and they're also one of the best ever.
Yeah,
like that's it.
They're
Probably
number 2 for me. I mean, yeah.
So, if you know metal, you understand what we were just saying.
Yeah, but I'm Battalion. This is Will Franken.
Okay.
I make music. He does comedy, does stand up. We will be going over every single album by Metallica, rating them 1 out of 10, and then we will be going over our favorite songs from it. Let me just pull the Google Doc up.
It's gonna be similar to the Mac Miller episode.
It's gonna be exactly the same. We're gonna rate. Let me just pull it up just so I can say it exactly. We will be going. Oh, it's not loading. So 1 second. Rate it 1 out of 10, and this is on a Metallica scale. All right, as I said last time with Mac Miller, it's on Metallica scale.
I'm doing whatever scale I want.
Yeah, I mean that's your rating. You do whatever you want. I'm doing like not comparatively to Black Sabbath, not comparatively to Megadeth. I'm saying Metallica's best album is going to be 10 out of 10, and then I'm going to rate the rest based off that. So go through each album. First impressions of each. His is going to be a little wonky because he started listening to all of them at the same time.
Yep.
But that's okay. Underrated song on each.
Easy.
So already said favorite song, least favorite song on each.
It's going to be hard.
And then favorite, instead of beat, I did favorite riff or solo.
Yes. Dude.
On the
or
album.
Even lyric if you're into
But
that
then that's memorable part.
Oh, memorable
I think
part.
if you want to put that. Because I just want,
yeah.
guitar, yeah. So.
I see where
So
you're going.
we are starting off the bat here. Metallica's first ever album, Kill 'Em All.
1983.
1983. You want to go first?
Should we give a very quick history lesson?
Yeah, do it. Let's fucking do it.
Okay, so Metallica, for those that don't know, is a band from the Bay Area / California. In the 1980s, they were pioneers of thrash metal. Right before this album, Kill 'Em All, they had the lead guitarist for Megadeth. They kicked him out and then recorded this album. A lot of this album is recorded, or a lot of Dave Mustaine's riffs. That's all. The reason
And solos, but just played by Kirk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quick history lesson. So now it's 1983. They released Kill 'Em All, their first album, and
everybody's liking Motley Crue. Everybody's liking, the hair bands. And then all of a sudden, this band comes out with the craziest metal, like, distortion where it's like, wait,
high
this
tempos,
is hitting me in the face.
High
and
tempos.
They don't care. So yeah, first impressions.
Little punk. My first impression is so. Do you want to go first since you might have a better one?
I mean, my first impression is I was just learning guitar. I learned some other Metallica songs, and then I learned Seek and Destroy. And Seek and Destroy is their most popular song on this album, and it was like their first big hit. It is crazy. It sounds, I mean, it kind of sounds like Black Sabbath-y to me, but just like way faster tempo and like has multiple parts. So
a little more punk too.
First impressions, I thought right away, I was like, oh, the rest of the songs in this are trash. I only like Seek and Destroy. Yeah. That was like when I was about 10 years old when I first listened to this album, and maybe 8 or 9, but around there. And I only like Seek and Destroy. Also knew how to play it, so that
makes it
way better. Obviously, impressions change. So yeah, what's your first impressions?
I actually got one because you were trying to get me into Metallica for a little bit because I like Motley Crue.
Right.
Took me a little bit, but a few things that got me into Metallica was seeing you play All Nightmare Long riff, which we'll get to, but also that video from 1983, them playing in Chicago, I think, and they performed Seek and Destroy. So they
Does
were
James have that black
the V?
V?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That
he
shit's so funny.
and he's got like the bullets on his wrist.
Yep.
And
And he's just an ugly, cool looking dude.
yeah, like and it's in
the way
this
to do it.
tiny little, like, you can tell it's like a little club, like
Or
there's
it's like a basement, damn
yeah,
near,
like and for some reason when I saw that video, I was just like, holy crap, like this is awesome.
this is the coolest shit ever.
So and
I mean, that's
for
like the
Seek and Destroy.
most like. I mean, kind of. I feel like the way that you fell in love with him was through performances when you
Yeah.
started like really watching their
That
performances.
is true.
Because obviously it sounds good to your ears and you love it, but like that just was the cherry on fucking top.
Mhm.
Damn near the lyrics to me was the cherry on top because I already liked like everything else, and then when you started liking them, then I started like going, oh wait, the lyrics actually are fire. I just liked it for the guitar going,
Yeah, which is fire as fuck.
Awesome.
So
So
that was first
what is
impressions.
your underrated song?
Underrated song. This is so hard, bro, because I really like every single song, but I think I'm gonna say "Pulling Teeth,"
Mhm.
just because Cliff Burton is the goat. It's an all bass solo, basically.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Instrumental. But then Motor Breath was my other one. I loved Motor
I
Breath.
do love Motor Breath.
Something about like the way, and I think I might be wrong on this, but I think this one was written by like all James. Like there was no Dave Mustaine on this one. Yeah, on Motor Breath.
And you know what's funny with that one
You
is
can sort of tell.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell because it just sounds like Motorhead. I would probably say, I mean, it's probably I think the second most listened to song on this album, but "Jump in the Fire" is my underrated song. I don't know if it is underrated, honestly, in Metallica fans' eyes, but I mean, that is my number 2 faux show. Like, bro, that riff is so fucking awesome. And that's their most like
Dave Mustaine.
That's their most like 80s sounding like riff in all of their discography.
Yeah, I mean, it's straight blues pentatonic.
It's like blues pentatonic, and it's just like got a little jump to it, little kick to it.
But then why it's fire though is because when it goes that riff that goes, oh, I can't even do it, but it like goes into like a little like bridge riff, I think. That's not really pentatonic. I mean,
it's more minor.
It's more minor.
Yeah, more like,
and it's really fire.
More
it might
metal
even be
sounding.
Phrygian too, but
more metal sounding is what you're to the non-music
Yeah.
fans. But yeah, that's my underrated, my favorite song. I mean, I think I literally have to go with "Seek and Destroy." Honestly, I know that's lame, but like,
no, but it is really good.
It is like
because
constructually the best song on the album.
And even now, like sometimes I'll listen to it and I'll get bored, sort of, because it's just bum bum ba you know, and then like those riffs are boring, but then it goes into that middle part,
and the middle part,
and
is
then the
nuts.
end too, bro.
Yeah, no.
But I'll have to say the Four Horsemen.
Four Horsemen.
Like,
I think that's yeah.
And the Seek and Destroy like is a good pick, but I think I have just
also
listened
isn't the
to it
Four
way
Horsemen
too
the
much.
most like thrash on the album too? Like, or is that not? That one has the riff that's like Leonard Skinner, right?
Yeah. It's like Sweet Home Alabama.
Damn, but also Phantom Lord is
I love Phantom Lord.
that's
That's
like
that's
a
my
low
actually
key.
that's
That's your
another one of
underrated?
my underrated. Yeah,
You have 3?
because
Okay,
I love
wow.
playing that one.
3 out of what, 8?
Yeah. Well, I love playing this one. Like that's one of my favorite to play. It's just so fun and Whiplash
What's your favorite
is
riff?
Really thrash. My favorite riff. It has to be that middle riff in
Seek and Destroy.
Seek and Destroy.
Yeah.
I have to not like. I'm this whole episode. I'm gonna be making riffs with my mouth. But
Yeah, but then they're gonna
guys.
go listen to it and they're gonna
You'll
go,
know what I mean.
oh.
Metal Militia has cool thrash riffs.
It does. Man, Phantom Lord has some cool riffs too, though. But
And then they actually have a clean. It goes that clean part, the chromatic descending.
Yep.
Clean
Which
part.
it sounds, isn't that Dave like to the maximum?
Yeah, I think that whole song is Dave. Like literally half of this album is all Dave. Like Jump in the Fire
I
is
think every
Dave.
single solo is Dave. Like I think every single solo is Dave.
Yeah, every single solo is
I'm
Dave.
also not positive.
Jump in the Fire main riff is Dave.
This is from Dave's word though.
No, he has writing credits.
Okay,
if you look on the album, he has writing credits.
He is salty about shit, bro. It's pretty funny.
Big time. Bro, he says my previous band instead of saying Metallica.
And then he like always in every interview he's like, I don't want to talk about it, and then he starts talking about it.
And then he starts
it's like,
talking
okay.
about it. Yeah. But yeah, no, he actually has writing credits on like 4 of the 8 songs.
My favorite riff,
probably that Jump in the Fire one, no?
Yeah, it probably has to be the Jump of the Fire riff. That's my favorite one to play too. I play that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jump of the Fire. I mean, it's
Four
just
Horsemen one's really fun to
Four
play
Horsemen's
too.
so fun to play, and also Seek and Destroy, that second riff is
so
super
good.
fun to play. That middle riff. And then what's your? Did we already say our least favorite?
Song?
No, we didn't.
No, mine's probably Whiplash, and it's still really good.
Yeah, I think damn near. No, because Hit the Lights is fun.
Hit the Lights might be it too, but I'm gonna
Hit
say
the Lights.
Whiplash.
I'm gonna say Hit the Lights just because like that's a song where it's like I probably would never show people that song.
Well, that's also their very first song.
That's like
also,
the singing's pretty trash.
Bro, that's their very first song.
Yeah, like ever. Yeah,
that's
it's
insane.
It's a good song still.
It's pretty good.
I mean,
to me, it's like a worse version of Phantom Lord for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it is. It's a more 80s sounding like Phantom Lord. Phantom Lord literally is like metal.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It's like it doesn't sound.
Phantom Lord's
80s.
really good. That's one of my favorite. But yeah,
what are you rating it? Unless you want to
go,
do a memorable part or like a memorable thing.
Probably just that video of them performing it, like I was saying. But then I'll rate it. I'm gonna go 8.1.
Oh god, I got to think about the other albums kind of when I'm rating. I'm gonna go. I'm lame. I'm gonna go 8.1 also. I think that like
I feel like it's a pretty good.
Like, we love it, but we know where its downfalls are.
Yeah,
which is a perfect 8.1.
And it probably is the worst of the first four.
Oh yeah, easily. But still goated.
Still really good.
Okay.
I mean, well, and for people that don't know, just to show how fire they are, Seek and Destroy is like played at every San Jose Sharks game. Like I mean, it's played at like probably 1 million.
And they play Seek and Destroy along with Enter Sandman at UW Hockey.
Yeah. That's San Jose Sharks are the hockey team, and like that's their thing is they go out to Seek and Destroy.
That's
like
so fire. That's their first fucking album when they were 19 years old.
It's 50 years later now, damn
50 years later. It's crazy. 40. God, look at the album cover on this one too. Like the album cover on this is probably one of the coolest album covers ever. Like this shit. I mean, I have it on a shirt.
Ride the Lightning.
Oh yeah, we're going to Ride the Lightning now. We're not talking about Seek and Destroy for the album cover, which is a okay album cover.
It's all right.
I mean, it's like
it's better than what it was gonna be.
Yes, dude. It was gonna be like
a toilet with a spike on it, and it was gonna be called Metal Up Your Ass.
Yeah, Metal Up Your Ass. That's pretty rough.
It sounds like a joke, but I think it's real.
No, that is real. That is 100% real.
I didn't know
the album part. I just knew the name, like a Metal Up Your Ass. I didn't know the album was gonna be a fucking spike.
Haven't you seen the picture of it?
No, I don't think so.
Well, Sam, if you could find it, put it up because it's funny. But if you can't, no big deal.
We could send it to him.
So now Ride the Lightning.
Ride the Lightning.
Goated album cover.
So fire. I mean, it just looks so cool. The blue. That's
blue
like,
and black. Dude.
That's when their name that font like really was like, oh shit, this is like the coolest thing ever. Even though it was on.
It's almost like not really at all, but I feel like they might have like got some influence from Iron Maiden for that.
Really?
I don't know, just the way it looks, like so big and.
I mean, that font is so relevant still. Like Uzi uses that font. Like Travis Scott is used to that font, and
Kanye every famous person has worn a Metallica shirt.
Oh, for sure. Every famous influencer has worn a Metallica shirt. Also, don't know if that
it just looks good.
To do with it. Yeah, it just looks cool.
It just proves how fire.
First impressions.
First impressions. I'm just trying to think. So,
well, what you should say is that this was your favorite album at one point. Honestly,
yeah. But it was weird because like when I first got in, I wasn't really listening to whole albums. I was just listening to songs here and there.
Yeah.
But then so first impression. So like my first impression when I listened to the whole album was this one was my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
I mean, from Who the Bell Tolls, I would literally play that and then drum to it over and over and over and over. I'd just sit in my basement with giant headphones on, just blasting it. Can't hear anything, but I'm just fucking going nuts.
Yeah, you're fucking snapping.
And then Fade to Black. I mean, this album is so fucking good. First impressions, I mean,
look at those first 5 songs, dude.
It's just fucking insane how good this album is. But like first impressions, when I first heard it, I really only liked Fade to Black and For Whom the Bell Tolls. Yep. To be honest with you, when I was a little ass kid and listened to these songs.
What about Creeping Death?
No, I didn't listen to any. I really didn't listen to even Ride the Lightning because I wasn't like really into thrash.
Yeah.
And like For Whom the Bell Tolls and Fade to Black are like really the least thrash.
Yeah.
Like they're
metal. Like not thrash at all.
Well, it's just metal.
Yeah.
Like For Whom the Bell Tolls is pretty slow tempo comparatively to.
It is.
Like I mean, it's still fast tempo because it's it's Metallica, but
it's like really not that fast.
so I'd just say my first impressions was kind of like the first album, where I only liked a few songs. I mean, that's pretty much all the albums except for Black Album when I was younger. So I'm gonna keep saying that. But
favorite song.
Favorite song. Holy shit.
I mean, you sort of have to.
You have to say Fade to Black.
Yeah.
Fade to Black is one of the best metal songs of all time. The only reason it's not like damn near the one is because of one.
Yeah.
Or in Master Puppets. Like,
yeah. And for like what you were saying too about the Mac Miller episode, like what songs are we going to be listening to for the rest of life? Fade to Black for sure.
Oh, for sure. Oh, Fade to Black 100%.
It's just rock, dude.
It's amazing, amazing music. It sounds beautiful at parts. It sounds insanely cool and like gritty.
And it's the kind of beautiful that's like dark though.
Yeah. Oh, emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional beauty.
And it's so
I
awesome.
think one of the reasons why Metallica and why it's so fun to like, it was so fun to like delve into their music all over again when you fell in love with them is because like, and we're gonna rate them, so you're gonna see it, but like it just progressively gets better
and better.
And like, but you still go back and you go, oh my god, I love it for this part, and I love it for this part, and I love it for this part. Like this album is damn near almost as good as Master Puppets, but just the mix is not as good. Yep. And then the bad songs are not as good as the bad songs in Master Puppets. It's just like a little bit worse version of Master Puppets, like just as
and
just
even
as
the
cool.
mix sounds really similar to Master Puppets, just slightly worse,
just slightly muddier and like
like you can't hear the bass guitar. Like I heard something that in like Call of Cthulhu, you're supposed to hear like Cliff going crazy on the bass, but like you can't hear anything. And in Ride the Lightning, Kirk has like one of his best solos, I think, and like it's barely prominent in the mix. Like it like you can still hear it like well, but
or if you have headphones, you're like really like.
But it would just sound so much cleaner and crisper if it was better.
And I mean, think about just like the distortion at that time, like they pretty
new,
much.
Sorta.
I mean, like not new, but like.
Well,
it was not as good as it was not as good as Eddie Van Halen's at that time.
Oh yeah.
Eddie had that shit like perfect, and he just because he was the best guitarist and had the best tone. But we already talked about that.
Okay, worst song probably Escape, but that one's still good. That's the crazy part, bro.
Yeah, no, that song's fucking awesome. Actually,
that's the band's least favorite song.
That's one that I like would go back to and be like, damn, like I just love like how I mean it's I think Dorian and it's like a happy sounding like
they have a
chorus.
It's like, a cool chorus.
It's a cool chorus that sounds happy, but I would probably have to say, I mean. I don't know, maybe Trapped Under Ice, honestly. But
for worst one, I was gonna say that's the most underrated one.
I know, but it's just like
I love those riffs.
Comparing to the other songs, it's just like impossible.
I damn near listen to Trapped Under Ice more than Ride the Lightning.
Yeah,
Trapped Under Ice.
I probably
really
listen to them the exact same. I mean, for me, it's like I listen to Fight Fire with Fire from Who's About Those, Fade to Black, and Creeping Death probably the most. And I did have when I was little, bro. I loved Call of Cthulhu. Actually,
I was little.
I like Call of Cthulhu.
Honestly, it's sort of. I sort of don't like it as much because I watch this guy. Because I'm weird. I watch videos of people listening to music, and he's like a classical composer, so he like knows music and shit. And he was saying like, it's sort of trash because it's not like music. Like it sounds really cool, but like in music terms, like it's only doing the same like chord progression in different keys, or like type thing.
It's just key change,
like it'll move up a whole step doing the same thing, then go back down, doing the same thing. Then
that's interesting
type of stuff.
But it sounds cool though.
It does sound cool.
So it doesn't matter.
And it sounds so like theatric and.
So Escape, that's probably both of our least favorite.
And then my underrated is Trapped Under Ice. We'll just go into that.
Yeah.
What's your underrated?
My underrated is Escape. Even though it's the worst on the album, it's like so fucking good.
It's like pretty. I don't know. It's like.
I really love the chorus.
I think that's the worst song of the first 4 albums. That or Whiplash.
Yeah.
Escape. I mean, I like Trapped Under Ice a lot. So if that one's yours, though, you can.
I do like Trapped Under Ice too, though.
It has really cool riffs, dude.
It does. I mean, either Escape, I'll say, or Creeping Death. Even though I know it's popular, but like that song's fucking metal. That's like their first like, where it's like, oh shit, they're getting real like dark with it.
It's low key. I really don't listen to Creeping Death a lot. Like
really,
I don't. I think something about how like to me like the only really good part is the bum bum bum.
I mean, that's metal as fuck though.
I mean, that was like the first time people did like a breakdown.
Yeah, or like. Yeah, that is like kind of like a breakdown, right? Um,
And then
favorite riff or solo?
Well, either that Creeping Death riff, but I think I'm gonna go with solo. It's a weird solo. It's not even like a solo, but that one in Fade to Black right before it goes into the verse, the second verse. I think James does it, where it's
While
just
it's in the metal part, like past the clean part, or is it
right
still
when
in the
it's
clean
like
part?
going into the clean part.
Again?
Yeah,
Yeah. See, I was gonna say the Fade to Black solo in the beginning.
the intro.
Yeah.
Very good.
I mean, like,
very good too.
That
But
when I was little, bro, that literally mesmerized me. That
Yeah.
made me like, I had to learn it right away. And when I learned it, I was like, man, like Kirk, it's so funny.
That's
like
when I learned too.
people hate on Kirk because he has simple ass shit. But that's what you fall in love with, because that's when you're little or when you are first getting into guitar, it sounds the best because it doesn't just sound like this. That sounds like real.
That's why
efficient.
that's why Metallica for me, like, they have everything you want. They've like intro to metal type songs, if you want to call it that, but then they have like straight up metal, and then they have like things that aren't really metal.
Yep.
They have it all.
Get into load and reload.
Yeah, that's not what I mean, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
Memorable, and my memorable lyric is Fade to Black when he says, "I was me, but now he's gone."
Yeah, that shit's fire. I think my memorable part, I would have to say, is kind of like what I said earlier with "For Whom the Bell Tolls," when I'm like just drumming
definitely.
to it over, and I'll just like literally hit replay on the song and just do it over and
That's
over and
awesome.
over and over again. It just felt so good, bro. I was literally like hitting things as hard as I could to like the coolest song ever.
Yeah, I remember learning that, and it's such a good beginner guitar song too. For Whom the
Ride
Bell
the
Tolls.
Lightning, 1984. What do you rate it?
8.8.
Wow, you're going to the eights for this guy. Man. What am I going to give it?
Yeah, these ratings are going to be weird, but whatever.
I think I have to go 9.1. This fucking album's amazing, bro.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's so funny how, like, I mean, our ratings are just what we're thinking right now, but like that literally was his favorite album. Like for a while, we'd always talk about like what your favorite album was, and he would say this one, and I would say what I'm gonna say, which I'll say later. Okay, yeah, 9.1, 8.8. That's good. And now we're on
Now
to damn near
this one right here.
near, pretty much what Metallica fans would say is the GOAT.
This one right here.
That one right there. But Sam, put it up right here. Then take it away. Then put it back up. I'm just kidding.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Put it up.
That's fucking funny. First impressions of Master of Puppets, 1986.
I feel like this one actually took me a while to get into this one.
Really?
Well, because see, this is why my first impressions are weird. Because I don't remember.
Because you get it all into it at the same time.
I think I liked Master. See, like, I think I was obsessed with Ride the Lightning for a long time. And then by the time I like started really getting into this album, I basically just loved it all. So
yeah,
there was
you were
nothing.
like just a Metallica head anyways.
I was into it already. Maybe I like learned some Master of Puppets riffs first before.
I mean, I'll just say, Master of Puppets was one of the first songs I learned playing guitar when I was like 9, and it was a whole different thing. I mean, I learned Back to Black. I learned
Back in Black.
Back in Black. I learned Carry On My Wayward Son. I learned some like pretty like
Rocky
complex
like a hurricane.
complex rock songs, and to me I was like, oh, these are hard, or like I gotta like really like. And then my teacher was like, all right, well we're gonna do this now. Bump, 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 and right after I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? I was so lost. I was like, this is crazy as fuck. This is metal. Like that's when I went, oh, so this is metal. Because like you know, I thought like Rocky Like a Hurricane, or you know, like I never thought about Black Sabbath. I thought like Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix. That's what I thought metal was, like just distorted guitar. But then I realized, oh, it's when they're playing classical music on a crazy distorted guitar, and it is just going nuts. I mean, it's literally like fucking Beethoven. Like chromatic scales and like how nuts it is.
They have all 12 notes.
Theatrical, like
that's all 12 notes in the riff, in the intro riff.
Yeah, well, except for the Phrygian note, or do they play it at the end, the very end? Yeah, they do.
Wait, oh yeah, it goes bum bum bum.
Yeah.
And they.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just going down the fucking notes, and that's how goated it is. Because when you listen to it, you go like, oh, like no one else can do a riff like that because they're just gonna go, oh, it sounds like Master Puppets.
Megadeth did it though, in my darkest hour.
Whatever.
And it's no, but they actually went crazy.
They went crazy with it.
Yeah, I mean that's the one. That's the one that goes the like dun, 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 and then it goes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that's different. That's different.
I'm just saying they hit all the notes.
That is really fucking cool.
They hit all the notes.
All 12.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just watched a video about it.
And that song is fire as fuck. But we're talking about Metallica.
Yeah,
bitch.
we're talking. Sorry.
No, but you gotta make those little segues. I mean, technically, it's part of Metallica.
He is. Their history. He is. He even no.
Okay, favorite song.
I feel like you just have to say Master of Puppets.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't say Master of Puppets, it's like okay, that's your weird. That's your what's underrated.
Yeah.
You can't not say.
I'll say like Orion, bro. Like
that's shit.
That's amazing. Something that never ever gets old to me.
Yep.
Like Master of Puppets only gets old a little bit because I like literally would listen to it repeat, like
right.
and play it, and like so it sort of lost its luster a little bit. But Orion, like that middle part.
Dude, I mean, it's funny I keep talking about when I learn guitar, but I mean, this is the
that's
reason,
how you do it. Yeah.
This is the reason why I got into Metallica. Orion was the second song I learned after Master Puppets by Metallica. Like he didn't even go to the other ones. Like I learned Orion next because he's like, oh, you like this album? Cool. Like I didn't used to listen to music
intro
by
riff
albums.
Is pretty easy.
It is pretty.
Not
easy, no, it is.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I could play this one. Like this is cool. And then it gets crazier. And I don't even know if I learned the whole song, but I mean, I just love that intro riff. I loved the organ in the background. Like it's just this fucking album's amazing.
Cliff.
Okay, so we're both saying Master Puppets. What's your underrated? Is it Orion?
Damage Inc. Actually.
Yeah, Damage Inc. I'm gonna go Leaper Messiah.
Yep.
Because Leaper Messiah was the one, or Leper Messiah. That's the one where later I got really, really, really into it, and even now, that's the one I go back to on this album probably the most. Just because I don't know, like it's also so fucked, everyone, because we have listened to these songs so many times that it's like
to gauge. Because Disposable Heroes is a good one too.
Yeah.
But that one's like there's something about
and Welcome
it
Home Sanitarium. To me, when I was in Texas, I remember being like 15 years old, sitting in Texas on the top of my grandma's little like roof thing, looking out into the stars, listening to Welcome Home Sanitarium, like literally like almost tearing up. Like this is the most amazing music I've ever listened to, and that was just me listening to it like on my own. Like like usually you have someone that you're like into it with, like how we got into it, but that was like I was just literally a little ass kid obsessed with that. I did have like 5 of these songs downloaded on my iTunes
when you were a kid.
Yeah, so I had
and
Orion, Master Puppets, Battery. I loved
Battery.
Battery's so fucking good.
But fun fact: the thing that should not be a great song is like a sequel to the Call of Cthulhu.
Oh really?
Fact. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it's talking about like a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what's your least favorite song?
This one actually has no bad songs. I'll say that. 0 bad songs. But if I have to just choose my least favorite, it's probably Disposable Heroes.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to say Leper Messiah.
No, I love that one too.
I know. I mean, I'm probably saying Disposable Heroes also.
There's just something about Disposable Heroes where you're like, I don't really want to listen to this.
I feel like it's one of those ones you have to be in a mood for.
Yeah.
So.
And it sort of drags on a little bit, I'll say.
Yeah, I also thought you were going to say Welcome Home Sanitarium, damn near.
That one, that's close. I really don't listen to that much anymore. I don't know why.
I just love how peaceful it sounds in the beginning, and then it gets crazy.
Yeah, I almost like the beginning way better than the thrash parts.
I agree. Like, it would have been more goated if the thrash later. I mean, it's still good. I mean, it's amazing, but like, it's not like as good as like some other songs that they have that are ballad like.
Yeah, and I'll say my favorite riff is the Damage Inc. one, where it goes. I feel stupid doing this all the time, but where it goes like yeah,
where it's like it's kind of like off key almost, where it's not just like that one's it's like a gallop. That one's like a gallop. And because that was like James showing off the down picking craziness.
Yeah, except
I mean obviously
really
Master Puppets.
Creeping Death is the epitome of his down picking.
Yeah, facts.
And Master of Puppets.
No, Master Puppets is because people
that's all down picks.
Like metal, like professional metal guitarists, that like the main riff in it, other than the chromatic one, like people can't down pick that like as fast as he does live.
Fast.
Like
and for people that don't know, there's down picking in guitar where you just go straight down.
Yeah.
But then what most people do is alternate, where you pick up,
Where you go
down and up. Yeah, like
you're going back and
both ways.
forth. But James, he's just a weirdo.
It was just a machine.
He was he was literally a machine. And we just went only going down, and he holds his pick with 3 fingers instead of 2. And
No, I think it's 2 instead of 1.
Oh, yeah. That's funny because I do that too, bro. I held it with 2 on this finger. That's weird. And I never noticed that until right now. Okay, what do you? Okay, my
also just for the people that don't know, when you down pick 2, it does give it a little more of an attack, like a harsher doom. So like it sounds.
Well, not
cool.
only that, but especially when you're doing like power chords, like hitting more than one note. If you're going only down, it's hitting the bass one first.
Yep.
And then if you go up, it's hitting that like kind of higher. Either octave
Which
or
sounds
fifth.
different.
It sounds
a lot
different.
of you guys might not hear it, but
you probably
it does.
would not hear it at all. You'd go, "Oh, that sounds like the same." We did both of them, but
like it, yeah.
But we're being very. I mean, we're gonna
I just
go
like to break it down.
We're gonna go in depth.
We're giving you everything you need to know about Metallica.
Literally.
So if you ever get in a conversation with some asshole wearing a shirt, you can school them.
Yeah, we're giving you the goods.
We're giving you the goods. Put this in your memory.
What do you rate it?
9.5.
I'm gonna go 9.7.
Yeah, because I mean it really is right next to.
I'm gonna go 9.7. I think this is almost tied for their best album.
Yep.
But it's so funny because Black Album is there too, and that motherfucker is up there for me also.
For me, I feel it. Well, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. So yeah, you had 9.5, and I'm 9.7. Moving on. Also, album cover's pretty cool in that one. Yeah. I think
it's one of the most iconic.
I think this album cover's better, in my opinion.
I don't know, dude. I think Master of Puppets is one of the most iconic, like even more iconic than Ride the Lightning, just because.
Oh, it is, but that's just because that's like that was like.
I just think that, bro, like Master of Puppets, and it's on those are like military graves too, not just like regular graves.
Yeah, here it is.
Like I think that's so cool.
Yeah, there's just so much meaning behind it. But I think this one is like my underrated album cover.
And Justice for All.
Like, dude, we're on a Justice for All now. That one up there, which Sam will put up too.
Super good album.
This is, I'm just going to come out and say it right away. This is my 10 out of 10. This is my favorite album.
Me too.
I'm coming out with it right away. Sorry.
I hate to say it too. 10 out of 10.
This, to me, is when I was in the height of listening to Metallica. When I would go through this whole album, I could literally listen to the entire thing and be in love.
Yeah.
Having a great fucking time listening to every single song in a row. It's their most real, like, metal sounding, like Master of Puppets has still kind of like that funkiness to it, even like
Cliff.
Ride the Lightning. Yeah, Cliff, literally like the bass, and all the metal heads are gonna be like, oh, there's no bass, or oh, you can't say this is your favorite Metallica album because of this. Well, I am, bitch.
And the guitar sounds the best.
If
you don't think the guitar sounds the best,
nuts.
Dude, and I've heard people like on YouTube, they're like, oh, here's And Justice for All, but with the bass, and I listen to it, I'm like, dude, this sounds worse.
It sounds worse. They knew what they were doing.
People just like
they were grieving, but they made the Goatus shit.
I mean, Jason Newsted, who was the guy. Well, so Cliff Burton passed away in a bus accident right before this album came out, and then they hired Jason Newsted, and he made one of the coolest riffs on the album.
Didn't Jason do the rest, or didn't they finish touring with Jason?
Yeah, I think so.
With the
Master of Puppets,
the Master of Puppets one, yeah.
I think so.
I think because
he died in 1986.
Yeah.
But
their bassist died right after the Master of Puppets album, and he was like legendary. I mean, he had a solo, like he had a bass solo song on their first album, Pulling Teeth,
and like his bass lines in like all Master of Puppets, like in Orion, an amazing bass line.
Yep.
In Master of Puppets, in the clean
From Whom
part,
the Bell Tolls, it's the beginning solo is
a bass. And if you guys listen to it, which you probably won't. You wouldn't even be able to tell it's a bass. Like I didn't know it was. I was like, wait, that's a bass guitar doing that?
When I was little, I thought that was a guitar 100%.
But yeah, but then anyway, our point with that was Jason Newsted. They think they were like trying to get at him by taking out the bass, but I mean, they did. He did write one of the coolest riffs on the album.
He wrote one of theirs, and they purposefully said they wanted. This is like, this is what I was going to try to say. This is the tightest metal album of all time. Tight.
In
When I'm
terms
saying
of
tight,
rhythm.
I'm saying rhythm and guitar, where everything sounds like a fucking machine. It is
And that's James
pinpoint
Hetfield.
accurate. James is the GOAT for that, but it's like literally sounds like a machine gun or a machine, or it's like
And
it
this
doesn't
was
sound like
before-
humans are playing it, and this is before programming. Because I knew that you were going to say.
Yep.
And nowadays people try to do it, and it just sounds lame.
I mean, there's like people talk about James like actually being the best rhythm guitarist, and if you listen to his isolated guitar tracks, it's like, I mean, you have to have like a super good ear to like really tell the difference between like him and someone else, but like it just sounds amazing.
It sounds like a machine. It sounds like, holy fuck, how is someone perfectly doing that? And people hate on Lars because he's a trash drummer live sometimes, and like, okay, maybe he's not the most technical, amazing, but he also on this album was right there with James, like making it tight.
This is his best like performance.
Tight. Yeah, this is his best performance out of all the albums, Lars, for all of them. I mean, honestly, maybe not Kirk, but even then, Kirk snapped on this album.
I might give Kirk Black Album.
Black Album? Yeah, Black Album is Kirk's
But also,
go.
fun fact, these first 4 albums that we've talked about, James Hetfield, the lead guitarist, is the only one that recorded all the rhythm guitars. Every riff was only recorded by one of their guitarists.
And the singer also. He's the singer.
He's the singer. He's
the
cool.
front man. The best front man of all time.
I agree.
I mean, I might give it to Ozzy, too.
Just because, yeah.
But it's funny because it's like Ozzy doesn't even play a guitar.
He does play a harmonica in that one Black
Sabbath. The reason
Sabbath.
why I might have to give it to Ozzy is because Ozzy was in multiple bands and was easily the best part of multiple other bands. So.
Well, yeah, that is true. But I mean, Randy Rhoads was...
And if James would have gone into a different band, if like James was in Megadeth, it would have sounded fucking awesome. Because James's vocals are amazing. All right, anyways, first impressions.
First impressions, I didn't like this one at first.
Same. It's so crazy.
We liked one, obviously. That's like the only one I liked at first.
Yeah.
Right? Is there another good one? Like big good one? No. Yeah,
no,
one is like basically the only one I liked at first.
Yeah, I didn't.
And
really...
one took me a little bit to get into. I think.
Really, that's weird.
Well, because
one
it's still so.
I loved instantly.
Well,
right
you
away.
have to think of it from my. I didn't listen to any metal before this.
Yeah.
So like, and this album's really fucking metal.
Yeah, but one starts off for the first 3 minutes. It's not metal.
But like if you show that to like a person that never listens to metal, they would like know it's metal just because it sounds like
sad.
Sad.
Yeah. Sad and angry.
And his voice like isn't really an amazing singing voice, even though it does sound good on that album.
Favorite song?
Blackened.
Over one?
Yeah, because it's sort of like the same thing I was doing at Mac Miller, where it's like, of course.
So you're gonna say your favorite is Blackened?
I mean, that's one I listen to that one more than one now because I just like over listened to one at one point. You know what I mean?
That's so you're just saying you just listen to one so many times because it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, but like
I see what you're saying.
I haven't listened to it in a while. I haven't listened to it in a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with one. I think
and Blackened's
one is
amazing, dude.
I think Blackened's amazing. Blackened's like the coolest Injustice for All song, if that makes sense. Like where it's just showing the epitome of Injustice for All. But I think one is the best metal song of all time. I think it's tied pretty much for the best like rock song of all time with Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, well, we've talked about it before. It basically is the metal version of Stairway to Heaven.
It is pretty much exactly the same. It's climactic as fuck, and
it's really cool. It's really cool in one how they have like the drums really aren't going that fast of a tempo, but then the riff is like
yeah, or vice versa. Didn't the drums start coming in when it's and when the metal parts come in?
So and then it flip flops.
And then flip flops, yeah.
Because then the drums is just going like doom.
And then they're still going.
Yeah, because and then he hits the fucking.
If anybody takes one thing out of this, I feel like everybody should go listen to one. Like,
and
I feel like
cool music video too.
It's a cool music video. It shows like every member going nuts, and it's like probably their like coolest song in general that has progression and it goes through it. I mean, maybe Master Puppets, but even Master Puppets is like harsher because of the mix. Like this mix is so fucking good.
And little history lesson. they basically weren't famous at all until that's not true.
Master Puppets got them famous, but
No,
one
but like
got them
but yeah, one is like what got them like cuz back
onto that 1991 tour.
Cuz like what a lot of people don't realize about music is like you could like have really famous songs and like really not feel any or like get
Fame.
any rewards for
Yeah.
it. Like after Master Puppets they were still living in a shitty house all together.
They
like
recorded Master Puppets in a garage.
yeah, and well, not one. It was for that they came up with it in the garage.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah. So then one was like when they were like really like here's the better way to put it. They weren't headliners.
Yeah.
Until one came out.
Yep.
Which is nuts to think about.
And then they went on tour with Ozzy, but
that was in Master Puppets.
Oh, really?
Or Ride the Lightning.
It might have been. I think it was Master Puppets, but nuts. I mean, this is my favorite album. I think
least favorite song.
Oh.
I'm probably gonna say "Eye of the Beholder," and I love that song still.
It's funny because this is a song I learned, but I think it's which is the one that goes
That's in Black Album.
Oh yeah, that is.
I think "Eye of the Beholder" is like pretty much the worst one on the album for sure.
Yeah, I'll go with it too because I really can't choose. I mean, it's fucking amazing.
And then my underrated one is "Shortest Straw." The Shortest Straw.
I'm gonna do Dyer's Eve.
That's a really good one.
They don't even perform it anymore.
Dear Father. They've only performed it like once.
Once ever, and I think wasn't it recently that they did it?
It was like,
or like 2000s?
Maybe like 2008 or something.
Yeah,
like,
like they performed it on the All Nightmare Long or whatever that album's called, Death Magnetic tour. I think they played it one time because people were like asking.
Yeah. And I think I think Robert Trujillo wanted to play it. Actually.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think
because he was a fan and then became
just
part
of
the
Jason,
band.
Just like Jason.
I mean, who's not a fan? If you're a metal, if you're metal guitarist, drummer,
and that's like
singer, you're gonna like Metallica.
And that's like a meme in metal, like on metal communities on Twitter and Instagram that like even the people that hate Metallica like secretly love Metallica.
Bro, you can't if you like metal, you really cannot not like Metallica. I don't understand how you would. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so
it doesn't make sense if you
what's
if you
your
like
underrated?
Metal. Eye of the Beholder, or underrated. Underrated. Probably Injustice for All, just because it's
Yep.
What is it called?
It's just so
an instrumental, right?
No.
Oh, which one's the instrumental then?
To Live Is to Die.
To Live Is to Die.
Bro, you're fucking dumb, dude.
Bro, it's because, and I've talked about it on the podcast, like I don't look at song names or like think about it. I just literally listen to it and go, oh my God, this is fucking amazing, if that makes sense. Like when I'm listening to this album, I just shuffle this bitch because I fucking love it and I don't even know what's playing. I just listen to it. It is my favorite Metallica song. I can't even tell you the shit.
Yeah, To Live Is to Die is an amazing.
Yeah, To Live Is to Die is my underrated because it's
amazing.
It's instrumental, so a lot of people probably don't like it, but it literally sounds like it could be in the background of a movie. Like the beginning is fucking crazy, and the beginning to Injustice for All is crazy too.
So the worst song is Eye of the Beholder, and it's like really not even bad at all.
No, not at all. It's probably better than like most of the songs on like Kill 'Em All. And
to put in perspective how good that I think this album is, like you could choose like 5 songs from this album to be the best metal song of all time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I agree.
And cool fun fact, the start of Blackened is a riff that they played and then reversed it. So it's playing in reverse. And then they get into the song.
That's why it sounds fucking
How'd they
nuts.
do that in 1988, bro?
Bro,
did they literally like take the thing and like literally like flip it? Or I don't know.
Or they just said, hey, let's play it backwards now.
No, like, they literally reversed it.
Oh, reverse it, yeah. Well, didn't they do that also in Injustice for All?
No,
or
you're just thinking of Blackened.
Oh, really? Yeah, I am. You're right. Yeah. God, that song is fucking nuts. Okay, favorite riff, or solo, or
I'm gonna say so. I just had a few pop in my head, but I'm just gonna choose one. But then I'm still gonna talk about the other ones. But I'm gonna say my favorite riff / solo is that one in Harvester of Sorrow. Oh, dude, I can't even explain it. What's up, Mac? Where it goes like. But then after that goes.
That's one of the reasons why we love Metallica is because they would take the riffs. No, you're not getting up here. We just cleaned all of this. one of the reasons why Metallica is goated is because they're able to take riffs and instead of just playing it over and over and over again, they're like adjusting it just a little bit, giving it a whole new twist, but keeping the same vibe and then continuing the song progressionally. This song was like the epitome of songs that progressed.
You mean album?
What did I say?
Song.
Well, yeah, these songs, but yeah, the whole album is like the epitome of like progression, like musical progression without being too much.
Yep.
It's like the perfect amount of switching it up, but also keeping it there.
And not switching it up too much.
Keeping you engaged. Yeah, exactly.
Like sometimes you might think, oh, this is the same riff.
It's like prog metal, but like not pushing it. How most prog shit does.
Sometimes you might think, oh, this is the same riff. And then you're like, wait, no, he's doing something way different, but exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly the same, but it sounds fucking awesome. And yet, if you're a guitarist, you try to do that, it's hard as fuck. Because it just either will sound like a whole new song that doesn't fit the vibe of what you were doing earlier, or it just sounds trash. Dude, this, like when he would switch the riffs, it would be keeping the same exact feeling. Like the feeling is so there on this album. It's so unreal. I would listen to it on repeat and just feel like I'm in a movie. That's like the only way I could describe it. It's theatrical. You feel like you're in a movie. Nothing else is like it. Mm-hmm. That's why I like the mix too, because nothing else is like this shit.
And then, yeah, I agree. I mean, it's the best metal guitar. But also, my other favorite riffs, just because I have to do it because there's so many, is The Shortest Straw. I love that riff. I love playing it. I love listening to it. The drum snap.
Yep.
And then Blackened, probably. I mean, N1. But you say your favorite riff or
I mean, mine is the metal end part of 1, for sure. Along with the drum. I mean, that's my favorite riff and drum.
And solo.
Yeah. No, that's just like the coolest part of all time. Dude, God. I mean, just think about when I was a kid listening to that shit, bro. It actually was like stunning to me. It was like, whoa, okay, so I don't really like any other music then. I don't like anything else. It's not what I thought, because I mean, obviously I was obsessed with rap and everything. But
yeah. But please, people, listen to 1 at least. At least listen to 1.
Mac, go lay down. Lay down. Making too much noise, bud.
He's getting antsy.
Okay. 10 out of 10 from both of us.
Yep.
Sam, put it up. 10 out of 10. And Justice for All.
Great album.
Moving on to their most popular album of all time.
It's like
self-titled, but also not really, because they actually didn't say it was a self-titled album. It's called the Black Album.
No,
they never said specifically that it's supposed to be like a self-titled album.
I feel like they might have, though. I mean, because
that's why they call it the Black Album.
No, that's what people just started calling it, because it's
called
black.
Metallica. Like, yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's self-titled.
Really? Interesting.
But anyway, that's not important. I could be wrong.
First impressions.
Well, I also just want to say this is like not just a popular metal album. This shit was popular mainstream commercial success.
Yes.
This is like the first time a metal band did that. Besides,
I think Enter Sandman might be like one of the most streamed
songs ever,
rock songs of all time.
Maybe not streamed just because once.
No, I think it is though, because they use it for stadiums and like they play it in every sporting event ever.
Yeah, I'm just saying streams are new.
I mean, it is. It is new. But this is their most prolific. Like this is everybody that knows Metallica at all is gonna know at least.
Even if you don't know Metallica, if you heard Enter Sandman, you probably go, I think I have heard this.
Oh, I heard this when I was at a bar one time. Oh, I heard this when I was at a Badger game or wherever.
Any sports game, Enter Sandman's probably playing. Well, first impression though, you go first.
I mean, I was obsessed with multiple songs on this album. My friend Gus and I would listen to this album like all the time when we were little, like 10 years old. We would just like put this shit on, and it was just the most amazing thing I ever heard in my entire life, especially because I loved metal, but then I listened to Nothing Else Matters, and I was like, wait, so this is the most emotional song I've ever liked also. I'm like almost crying listening to that shit. Yep. Fucking amazing. I think first impressions, I have to say this was my favorite album when I was little. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's their most...
And it sounds the best.
I think the best.
I don't really have a first impression, to be honest. Well, Enter Sandman was one of the ones where it was
you
weird.
Knew it already.
Well, I knew it already, but then I remember I was like, I don't think I like it, though. But then after I got into Seek and Destroy and All Nightmare Long, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I was just like, wait, Enter Sandman's really fire.
Really fucking fire.
Bro, I actually remember I was in Door County with my family listening to it like on repeat. I was like, bro, I was like, what?
There's one thing about metal where I feel like there's a difference. If you are listening to metal and you are purposefully, like not purposefully, but people that are not inclined to like headbang, I swear to God, listening to metal when you headbang sounds better. I don't know what it is. Maybe it adds a little tremolo effect. But once you start headbanging to metal songs, it just skyrockets your love for it. Maybe that's what happened to you. Maybe you started one like this. Oh shit.
Nah, that's not at all what it was.
I mean, if you're listening to metal and you don't headbang ever, you're just a fucking weirdo.
I think it's a natural, innate ability. It's the rhythm within you. You're just keeping the rhythm. That's all headbanging is.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, people. I bet people don't, and they're weird if they don't.
Well, they're not. They probably don't like music that much.
Yeah, I'm saying they're weird.
What are we doing? Favorite song?
Sure.
Oh well, I also wanted to say a hot take. The mix of this album, like, carries it in a way. Not carries it because the songs are amazing, but like, there's a lot of the worst songs don't sound that bad because it just sounds so good.
Through the Never was what I was thinking of.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you because this is the epitome of that, pretty much.
That's really good though.
And
the God that failed is so good.
It's so
My
good.
My Friend of Misery is so good. But favorite song, so I mean, you have to go either Nothing Else Matters or Enter Sandman. Straight up.
I can see if people said Sad But True because that was like
but that's
their first slow song. Like literally, like slow tempo. Like everything before them was above like 100 BPM. So you're going with what? Say exactly. Come on.
Just one?
Yeah, come on.
Nothing Else Matters.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. Nothing Else Matters is my favorite also. What is your underrated?
My Friend of Misery.
Yeah. I think.
And my least favorite? Well, you go for your underrated.
It's funny. I think.
Holier Than Thou is really good, bro.
What?
If you're gonna say Holier Than Thou, I totally agree.
That's my underrated.
That's the one that goes.
And it's also. But also.
Right?
Dude, yeah. I mean, that's the only one on this album that kind of sounds 80s weirdly.
And
that makes sense.
A little thrashy.
Yeah, thrashy.
But Through the Never sort of. But
I'm gonna go Through the Never for my least favorite, even though I still love it.
Oh, I'm gonna say Don't Tread on Me. I think it's like Don't Tread on Me. I think is like the. I feel like that's the obvious choice in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Through the Never to me, it felt forced.
That's the one that you were saying. I don't know. I like.
But also, I learned that when I was like 10.
Yeah, so
and I wanted it to be like master. Like I like ballads, bro. Like I'm a ballad type of rock person. Like I love it when it's progressional. There's a bunch of different parts, and it doesn't really have that Through the Never. But
My Friend of Misery has so many different parts that are so fire, bro.
So amazing.
The Unforgiven, weirdly, even though that one's super popular, I really don't like it. I don't really like any of the Unforgivens that much.
I do. I like all of them, I think.
I really don't ever listen to them.
I mean, I think that
makes
this
like
album good because it shows a different side of them.
I think it sounds like too Western for me.
I love Western sounding shit. The whip and the fucking like tumbleweed. Like I could imagine myself riding a horse on a fucking.
If I do listen to the Unforgivens, it's only this one. I don't ever listen to the other two.
Oh, I like the other Unforgivens. I think Unforgiven, whatever one's on the Death Magnetic, I think is the better one than the other one because I think they're the ones in Load and Reload. Yeah, it's in one of those. What did we say? Least favorite? We both said, you said Don't Tread on Me. Yeah, I'd probably do that too, honestly. Even though I said Through the Never, I'm doing that also. Favorite riff or solo?
I'm gonna choose a bass line, and it's the.
Oh, nice.
It's the My Friend of Misery. My Friend of Misery.
Yep. Oh yeah. That shit is fire, and it's that's the mix too.
Yeah.
Because bass really, sometimes sadly, it is like the mix is dependent on, or the bass is dependent on the mix. I'm gonna say Nothing Else Matters solos, James solo in it. That to me was so fucking good, especially just because it's like it was the climax of the song. Just God tier. What are you rating this?
I'm gonna say.
For context, you gave.
I think I gave Master Puppets 9.5. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go 9.2 on this one.
Oh really? So Master Puppets is your second favorite, probably then?
Oh, for sure. And the only reason this is really better than Ride the Lightning is because it just sounds amazing.
I gave. Yeah. It's so hard, bro. I gave Master Puppets a 9.7. I'm gonna give this a 9.6. Right below it. Right below it.
I
On
listen
on
to
on a certain day, maybe I'd like this better, but really probably not.
it. Yeah. No.
um.
It's just if you want to hear really good mix.
So you said
guitar.
9.5
No.
or 9.2? You said 9.2. 9.2, 9.7. Moving on. So that was their height of their
I think
career.
you said 9.6.
Oh yeah, I said 9.6 because Master Puppets was 9.7.
So these next albums are all trash.
So we're not
guys.
going through the live album. We're going right.
Let's take that as time to say, guys, this band is the best live performance band
ever,
basically.
No,
And
I'd
obviously,
say
no, but that is something that really is up for interpretation and whatever you like. But like, that's really the reason why I fell in love with them. I like they sound now. Don't listen to their 2023 videos, but
still not bad.
It's still good.
And they're
it's
60
still
years
good.
old. So,
but like that one from Seattle, 1989 or whatever, bro. Like, it's like, oh my god, these guys are just this whole like, I don't know, bro. Like blows your mind. It
it's like
really
a movie.
does.
It literally is like someone scripted how their career went.
Yeah, you can't make it.
And their performances are scripted. It's like, this is acting because it's so good. Yeah, I mean, they're like, because you could like Iron Maiden, like theatrics or like,
or if you're not into metal, like maybe like just like someone else that like.
I thought you were gonna say Motley Crue for that. They're like,
no. I was gonna say Bob Dylan.
Even
weirdly.
Motley Crue fans hate Motley Crue live.
I was gonna say Bob Dylan. Weirdly.
Oh, I see. Where it's like,
yeah,
folky and
like you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So now we're on to 1994, I think.
Yeah.
1996. Load.
7. Garbage.
First impressions, garbage.
Well, so a little context. They just came off. So this is 1996. Black Album was 1991. They toured Black Album for like 3 years straight.
Because
they could. Because it had the legs. It had legs. So imagine you're the most famous band in the world. I mean, it's hard to. And their whole like thing was, their whole like mission from the start was that they were like different than everyone else, you know?
Yeah.
So now that they're the most famous in the world, like, I get why they made such trash albums.
Like, them making the best music ever ruined their career because it's like, where do you go from there? Look at that. They changed their fucking logo.
Yeah, that's how you know.
That's how you know they're just off their rocker.
And they went back, and that's how you really know.
That's how you really know. They went, oh, we fucked it. And they went back on their style of music.
Yeah.
When they went Death Magnetic, they were like, okay, let's just go back to our bread and butter.
But
favorite okay, so first impressions, we both said trash. When I was little, I like literally was like, okay, so I'm just never listening to these ever in my entire life.
Yeah, and it's still sort of like
I actually like unload or reload better than load, but least favorite song, I mean,
pick one. That's not King Nothing. Pick one that's not King Nothing.
And I actually like Ain't My Bitch, even though the lyrics are god awful.
I think Bleeding Me is decent too. I think people like that one.
But I think Mama Said is pretty fucking trash.
People like the Outlaw Torn, but it's like that one's like really Western, like because James.
Well, no, that's like
country music.
Country, yeah, it's like country. Not even. I mean, it is Western sounding. It is because this is all Western country sounding. Yeah, that's what it is.
But like, not really. This still it does. I think it still does sound metal too. Like
if you show this to a random person, they'll be like, "Oh, this is metal music."
Yeah, and like the guitar tone is actually pretty decent on these albums.
I mean, like in the song "Ain't My Bitch," the guitar sounds cool as fuck. Actually, it's just a trash song.
And they were trying to be weird, and like that's why the lyrics are weird, and that's why like.
And who knows? Maybe wasn't this at like the height of James's like fucking addiction?
Yeah, this alcoholism? Whole decade.
Yeah, I mean, this whole decade, but like, I mean, that I feel like that influenced this a little.
And next decade,
and this is like when he was having like troubles with his wife or some shit.
I think that was more. Oh, you might be. Well, they always did probably, but I just know they told a story that like they almost called the Black Album like tour like the divorce or something because like they all lost their wives, like they all were having relationship problems.
I mean, it's because they were, dude. Listening to the stories of them fucking like after the. Having showers with like 30 women. I mean, it's just them four.
I heard a story that they would like one of their managers or whatever would literally go out to the crowd and just like ask people, you want to come back
with them? Yeah. You want to come shower with them? You want to wash them off after this concert?
That's weird.
It's weird, but hey, good for them. Okay,
King
so best
Nothing's the best
song,
one.
yeah, I have to go with King Nothing also. They're all pretty
Yeah,
garbage. This is the worst album
we
by
don't need to go
Metallica.
as in depth with these
Um,
ones.
let's see, favorite. We don't have to do that.
Favorite riff is King Nothing.
Let's just rate it and move on.
I mean, I'm gonna say like 4.5. Like this is bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go right with you. 4.5. I'm matching you a lot today.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean, it's
we're very. I mean, unlike
the,
Mac, we're kind of like more similar on Metallica note than we are,
especially
like,
now.
Mac
Yeah.
Even though we did both rated Swimming the same. Yeah. So 4.5. Pretty rough. Let's move on to Reload. I like this one a little bit better. I actually like a few songs on this album. First impressions. I learned Fuel when I was younger too. The first song on the album of Reload. Also, let's just quickly go over the covers. We already talked about the font, but the cover's pretty trash also.
Yeah, both
of them pretty trash. I mean, it's like ask a third
doesn't
grader
look
what they want to put on their album cover. It's probably gonna look like this. Font garbage. Why would you change the font? Fuel is pretty fucking awesome. That was like interesting because it's like a metal song, but it's also like just kind of like it's funky and like still kind of honky tonky. Weirdly, like it sounds
like really white people.
Even
though all metal is like something about Fuel is like oh.
Well, I mean, no, but I mean, I would say Metallica. One of the reasons why they were good is like their insignia. They're like their name. Like it's pop culture. Like everybody likes that shit.
I'd say my favorite song is, and I like never listen to this album, but I'd say my favorite song, I think The Memory Remains is pretty good.
Oh, this is another band's name. This
Fire
Slither. I wonder if they named it after that. What did you say? What was yours?
The Memory Remains at the top.
The top.
I think that's my favorite.
Yeah,
song.
that one's pretty good actually. I think
that's like you like Where the Wild Things Are.
I do like
right?
Where the Wild Things Are a lot, but I wouldn't say it's that's my underrated song. Where the Wild Things Are is my underrated song on this album. I think my favorite song I would have to say Fuel.
Yep.
Because that was just the one. But also I do love Unforgiven too. It's just it's the worst Unforgiven out of all three. Or four if they've done four. I don't even know if they have. I think it's just three. Least favorite song, let's just do
all of them.
All the ones that we just didn't name. I don't know.
I think people like Low Man's Lyric.
I'm gonna say that's my least favorite, just to piss those people off.
Yeah. Well, because that's another one where I think it was like all James basically like being a country guy.
See, it's funny. Like this album has like 2 or 3 songs where I'm like, okay, these are decent songs.
But like the huge thing with these albums is it's just so different than what they made before.
We just can't.
Can't. Yeah, it's like to me,
we can't. But I really do. I actually would listen to Where the Wild Things Are like a decent amount of times. It's like their only trippy song ever. It's like literally it's like a smoking weed type song.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds cool to me, and I like the lyrics.
Oh,
it's kind of like Call of Cthulhu, and like where it's like talking about like kind of like a monster type vibe.
Also, cool. Weird. We are past it, but King Nothing, I'm pretty sure is like technically a sequel to Enter Sandman. Weirdly,
interesting. Or like. Yeah, interesting. Huh. What even Enter Sandman's about like dreams and shit, right? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
There's that famous Howard Stern interview when they're there in the studio like performing with Howard Stern, and Lars exposes James and say that it was actually originally about like crib death, like babies dying in the crib.
Oh God. That's fucked up.
But yeah, it's about like
classic
dreams and
metal.
Shit.
Have to go to the
classic James just being a fucked up guy.
yeah, true. Okay, what do you rate it?
3.8. I actually probably should rate this one higher. Actually,
I was gonna say, right? You like this one?
4.6.
I'm gonna give this.
I mean, both these albums are so bad.
I'm gonna give this a 5.9, almost a 6 for me. Almost a 6.
I just like hate. I never listen to these albums ever.
Yeah, I listened to Fuel. I listened to Fuel the other day, actually, like just randomly. I put Metallica playlist on shuffle and it put up Fuel, and I was like, all right, bet. So I have to give it in the 5 range at least. I'll go 5.9 because it's almost hitting a 6.
You just said that, but yeah.
What?
It's just funny because you just said that, but then you acted the way you were just talking. It was like you didn't just
like I didn't say that.
Yeah,
they didn't know. So I'm going with 5.9. You guys didn't know that before. All right, Sam, put it up. 5.9.
And yeah, 4.6.
We'll talk quickly about Garage Inc.
Because this is actually a lot of people don't know. Like my roommate would send me songs, and I would be like, "Well, that's a cover of a different song." So, but
It sounds like Metallica though.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is a lot of people don't know their covers, but this is Garage Inc. is a complete
cover album, which I didn't even know. When I was talking to you like 2 years ago or whenever, I was like, "Oh, is this song?" And you're like, "No, that's a cover." I was like, "Oh."
But
by the way, real quick, Low was 1996, Reload was 1997. Now Garage Inc. is 1998, and it's all covers. So it's not a real album.
But I weirdly, like recently, like in the past year or so, I have started listening to more songs off this album because it's just Metallica playing songs that basically sound like Metallica, but it's different.
And it's cool is I actually kind of like the mix is Black Album, but a little bit lighter, not as like bass heavy. So it's a little bit more towards.
And I feel like it's a little more gritty too.
Yeah, it honestly, like if I had to compare it, it sounds kind of like Master Puppets, but the singing then is kind of like. I think they recorded a lot of these before Black Album, didn't?
Well, they had a bunch of cover. They started off basically as a cover band, like from early shit.
Because I swear, some of these songs, the singing literally sounds like it is from
like
Justice
1984, damn near.
No, really, I thought they
because "Am I Evil" was one of their first songs they ever like performed in like the 80s.
But I think when they recorded, I swear, maybe I'm wrong and people could correct me, but I think it was around Injustice for All, and that's why the singing kind of sounds like Injustice for All. But maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm like, let's say put in percentages, I'm 75% sure with that one. So I'm pretty up there.
I think you should be more like 30% sure on that.
Maybe. But we don't have to go over
this one quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's just say your favorite song real quick.
Okay. Favorite song. What are you doing?
Because I got one. Wait, go down, because I don't remember. I'm either going to say... Oh, dude, I forget. So I have to say 3 because... It's Am I Evil, Blitzkrieg, or Bread Fan.
Mine's Bread Fan.
Yeah, both that and Blitzkrieg are just like really good.
I mean, they sound like punk thrash.
Yeah.
And Am I Evil's pretty good too, but
then they cover a Queen song too, and then they cover Motorhead. Cool.
And this live when they played it, I think with
Brian May.
Yeah, that shit's awesome. Because it's just James singing it.
Let's not even rate this one.
No, we're not rating. But my least favorite is Whiskey in the Jar in this album. Also,
that's one that he still performs.
Dude, do you know that's like one of the most famous songs? Or cover. But like people fucking bro, my band teacher in middle school, whatever her name was, Miss whatever her name was, she was like, "Oh, you like Metallica? Oh, I love Whiskey in the Jar." I was like,
"That's not Metallica." I
literally looked at it. I was like, I have no idea what that is.
Get the fuck out of here.
I was so confused.
But that they cover Black Sabbath song on there too.
Yep. And then S&M was
we can skip this.
Yeah, it's just like an orchestral.
But cool thing, if you guys like classical music or like orchestras, go on YouTube and watch their performances with the S&M because it is really cool to watch.
It's cool. I mean, they're playing with the orchestra. What we say is trash about it though is like, isn't it kind of just like exactly what you would think it is? Like it doesn't like feel like it's.
They do they almost they like do shit where it's like I feel like you could have made it cooler. Like
yeah.
Like they made it more orchestra-y instead of just trying to make the orchestra sound like metal. You know what I mean?
Right. Where it's like you could still make it metal.
But
it's a metal band.
It is a cool experience.
Though. Yeah, it's cool.
No rating for this one.
No rating for that because it's not a real album.
No favorite songs.
Now we're on into an actual album, 2003, Saint Anger. This one gets a lot of hate. This one gets a lot of hate.
This is going to be tough because...
This is around the same as Reload and Load.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Because, I mean, but like we always say, or everyone says, people don't know, but this album, Saint Anger, is known for the worst snare in rock and roll history. I mean, bro, what was he thinking, dude?
I mean, it's the same thing as you hear with like Kanye, and you gotta try it.
But for the whole, oh, dude. But I'll say, what was that?
Who's telling Metallica no?
Yeah, true. Especially at this point.
Like this is
how did James not at least, bro? Like Lars, bro. Seriously.
Because Lars is a douche.
Yeah, he is.
Lars is not giving up that fight.
No, because even if just because they're telling him no, he's probably gonna double down.
Oh, for sure. Oh, you think I'm wrong?
He seems like a better guy nowadays, though. But
I don't know.
I'll say Saint Anger. What was I gonna say? I swear you sent me a Deftones song. I think it was the Deftones. Is that band? And they actually had a snare that sounded similar to this.
But not as trash.
Not as
piercing where you're like every 5 seconds.
But it was more that open snare instead of
those who haven't listened to Metallica either don't listen to this album or if you want to hear something that sucks, listen to this album because it's funny. It's like funny. It's like comical how bad the snare is. You'll think it's a bit. And it's like the songs aren't even that bad. It's just the snare fucking ruins them. They're not amazing, but the songs aren't bad. They're just like metal songs with a crazy trash snare.
Yeah, I would listen to this album more if it didn't have that
For sure.
snare, but
Still
because
wouldn't
it has that snare, I never ever listen to this album
Yep.
ever.
I've listened to Some Kind of Monster a few times. Pretty cool, but the snare just ruins it. We're not gonna go. I mean, I don't even.
I mean, let's just rate it but
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
just
go
rate it.
4.4. I think it's worse than Load and Reload.
I think I'm gonna put it right on par with Load, whatever I gave that, and I think it was a.
I think you went right with me at a 4.5.
4.5. Let's give it a 4.5.
And I'm going 4.4.
All right, moving on. Album cover looks okay.
Yeah.
It's not
No logo again though.
What is this?
This is another live one.
Some Kind of Monster is like a live one that they did in 2004, but we're not doing the live ones. Then we go to a pretty fucking awesome album that came out in 2008. It's funny. First impressions of this one is called Death Magnetic. Cool ass album cover. Like the album cover is fucking awesome. There's multiple reasons why I love the album cover. One, it's metal as fuck. They went back to their font, their actual font that made them famous and that everybody knows. And it's a thrash album, great. But also just the cover, like I went to the California Museum and they had this magnetic sand, and that's literally what it looks like when you put it on. Yeah, that's what it is. So it's like at that time, it was right when I was in Metallica. They just dropped a new album. I get to listen to a Metallica album pretty much for the first time ever, right when it comes out, and it engulfed me, and I loved like 4 songs from it.
And it's a grave.
Like I literally, like when I say loved, I loved 4 songs, and then I thought Unforgiven thing was pretty good. But I like loved 4 songs. I'll just say the 4 songs. I loved The Day That Never Comes, All Nightmare Long, Cyanide, and Unforgiven, I guess, is that. So that was it. That was actually just 3, and then Unforgiven I thought was pretty good.
Well, what about, you didn't like the instrumental?
No, I didn't even listen to it. I literally didn't even like listen to the rest of the album when I was little, honestly, if I'm being real. All Nightmare Long and Cyanide and Day That Never Comes were so fucking good to me. Yeah. Which I know you don't even love Cyanide, really, do you?
No.
But I just love that. Wham, 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 bum, bum, bum,
yeah.
That shit's so fire.
And my first impression of this is watching you play All Nightmare Long.
Yeah.
Before I really played guitar. It was like right as I was like playing guitar.
So a song off this album actually got you into Metallica.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, because like that's when I really realized and I feel like a lot of, if people are listening still,
they're still tuning in.
I feel like this will relate to a lot of people. Like to me, I used to think it was just like it was like, since I didn't know instruments, it just sounded like a whole bunch of noise.
Mm-hmm. Which I get it. People say
yeah,
that. Makes sense.
So then when I saw someone playing it like for real, like playing it exactly, and I was like, that's what they're doing. And I was like, holy crap. And it just like, it really made the song way better to me.
Yep, because then you could just imagine what they're doing the whole time. I'm like, what their hands.
And I was like, I can't believe they're doing that, like with just their guitar. Like I thought there must be like other shit going on. I don't know.
I played because I played in a little concert where I played Master Puppets. I played All Nightmare Long right after I played Master Puppets.
That's insane, dude.
I just did it.
Endurance was crazy.
I was like a fucking 12-year-old, and I just did that shit. It was lit. Day That Never Comes is one of Metallica's like best songs, honestly. That fucking song is amazing, bro. That song, if you don't like Metallica, I mean, I would recommend one of probably Day That Never Comes is probably up there.
Yeah, but see, like something that's hard for us, but I feel like I feel like this would definitely sound corny as fuck to someone else.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it would to someone that likes metal.
Yeah, I'm saying
just a random person that like doesn't love like metal.
No, I think it would to someone that doesn't love metal.
Really?
More than it would to someone that likes metal. Because someone that likes metal would be like, oh yeah, the guitar is fire, but...
Interesting.
Because like his voice doesn't, like... His voice, like, it is way better on this album, but like it's just not like it's not like what people think of when you talk about singers.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I feel like that's the reason why someone that doesn't like metal would like it more, because it doesn't sound like metal singing. It sounds like just singing.
But it's like trash singing.
I think it's good singing. I think he does good on this album. It just is not as
like
gritty.
If you're comparing him to like real singers, it's not good singing, dude. It
I
sounds
feel like
good.
James got better at singing as he got older, at being a good actual singer.
Are you missing what I'm saying, dude?
What?
I'm saying he did get way better, but it's still not good singing if you're talking about real singers.
Oh, okay. Well, you're talking about like fucking Freddie Mercury or like Beyonce or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what a casual person would relate it to, because that's what they know the best.
Yeah, I guess. I'm just saying, if I'm showing someone Metallica that doesn't like metal, maybe I'll kind of get around. It'll probably be Black Album. But
And also, the only reason I wouldn't for this song is because it's like 8 minutes long, and
Facts.
normal people don't like that shit.
Facts.
Maybe it's only 6, but
I think it's around. Yeah, I don't know. It's amazing though. First impressions for you. You already
was
said
that All Nightmare Long? Yep. And yours was that you.
So, what's your favorite song on this album?
Mac just made a funny noise. Probably All Nightmare Long. Oh, or The Day That Never Comes. I'm gonna go All Nightmare Long.
Do it. I have to go The Day That Never Comes, even though All Nightmare Long is like right.
I was just playing that riff the other day.
My underrated is Cyanide. I think that song's fucking awesome. I don't know why. When I was little and I liked it, that means something. That means I really did like it, because I didn't just like shit just till I was like, oh, that's a cool guitar part. Like, I just liked the way that shit sounded.
My underrated is That Was Just Your Life.
Yeah, that shit's fucking amazing. Is that?
Because that's the one that goes boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Least favorite song?
Broken.
I was gonna say that.
I might say The Unforgiven 3 or Judas Kiss.
You don't like Judas Kiss. I got into the Judas Kiss way later. I'm probably gonna say. Wait, what did you say? That Was Just Your Life?
Not for least favorite. For least favorite, I said I don't know. There's like 3 of them. I'm gonna say because Broken Beat and Scarred actually is better than I thought it was. Like, it actually has some fire, like, aggressive shit. But I go with probably the Judas Kiss.
I'm gonna go with Broken.
Or My Apocalypse, maybe.
Yeah.
But the instrumental on this is actually underrated. It
is. That's like my.
And James has a solo.
Underrated.
And James has a solo in it that's like actually a really good. Like, almost, it's so good that like you would have probably think it's Kirk.
Yeah. That's so fire. That's so lit. This album really is so good, actually. Like,
I think
it's like a good album. There's a few skips, maybe, but like
there is a few skips. But this is how I put it.
A good album.
This is how I put for this album. It's like they basically show they're the best album ever band ever for the first 5 albums. Then they were trash.
Did their stupid shit. Got it out of the way.
And then now it's 2008, and they went, all right, guys, but seriously,
let's get back to what
they said, seriously, we are the GOATs, though. And that's what this is.
We were just kidding.
Hey, guys, we're the GOATs.
Like, if this came out in 1996 instead of Load, that'd been so obviously it wouldn't have, because it was 12 years later, but
and also thrash wasn't popular in the 90s. That's also what we have to say about.
Yeah, true. Because like grunge came in and hit the scene, and so that maybe Metallica
that's
and
what Load
James
and Reload sort of was.
Oh, we have to be a little bit more grungy.
They cut their hair, trash.
Yeah, dude. Kirk looked so lame in the 90s.
But anyway, yeah, pretty good album. Let's rate it. What are you getting at?
I'm gonna give it. I think I gave Kill 'Em All an 8.1.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go right there. 8.1. I think this is 8.1.
I think I'm gonna go 7.3.
Wow. You're going way lower. I have to give it 8.1 because it like got me into Metallica even more, and it came out when I was listening to them. Like,
yeah,
it was the first album where I was like, or Metallica that I could listen to right when it dropped, which is so weird because it's like
30 years after
they were all like in their late 40s, early 50s. So next. I think we both would agree that our favorite like riff or thing from this is the All Nightmare Long, like the intro, pretty much. Next, Lulu, skipping it.
They made an album with Lou Reed, and it's garbage.
And isn't she like also like a violinist?
Lou Reed is a man.
Oh, okay. I don't even know who Lou Reed is.
He's like a famous musician.
Oh, trash.
He was in a big band in like the 70s, I think. Is he the Velvet Underground? He might be the Velvet Underground.
Okay, well, Lulu's a joint album. We're not going over it.
I
don't even know if I really listened to it. I listened to like 2 songs and I was like, oh, so it's just not metal. Yeah,
it's like actually garbage.
Yikes. And
no.
This is their I actually watched their movie. This was their movie. And this is the soundtrack to their movie. Calvin and I went to their movie, and it was pretty much like their most famous songs, like in a music video form. It's pretty cool. But we're not going over that. Okay, another album where it came out and I was able to listen to it right when it came out. Hardwired to Self Destruct, 2016. No, I don't want to listen to. Don't want to listen to that. Hardwired Self Destruct, 2016. They're in their 50s at some point. Is this playing? I gotta turn this off. First impressions.
My first impressions was this one was like really bad.
Yeah.
Cool album cover.
And you listened to it like late. You didn't listen to it when it dropped. You listened because you weren't even into the Metallica then.
It was like 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
When I was listening to it.
My first impressions was I knew it wasn't as good as their old shit or as good as Death Magnetic, but I was down for some metal at that time. This is my freshman year of college. This is when I was like literally only listening to music, and that's all I was doing. I wasn't talking to humans. I wasn't literally doing anything else. I was just listening to music. When I got really into Travis Scott as well, obviously I was already into Travis Scott, but I liked it. I mean, I learned a few of the riffs. I like had fun listening to this album. There's definitely a few skips on here, but honestly, I like a lot of the songs on here. I'm gonna go to the non-deluxe because then it doesn't show all the live ones. What is your favorite song?
Probably the title track, Hardwired.
Hardwired. I like that one, but let's see what I'm thinking. Because I like a few of these songs. I think I have to go Moth into the Flame because that one's like fucking thrash. So is Hardwired, but Moth into the Flame is thrash as fuck, and I like James' singing on it. I just like James singing on this album a little bit more than I thought. Like, okay, comparatively to the other ones, like Death Magnetic is a little bit better than this, but I just like don't hate his singing, so I'm able to get into the riffs. Like their newest album, I just like can't listen to James singing really on like any of the songs, and the riffs are pretty fucking terrible too. But what is your underrated? Do you even have underrated?
Okay. I don't like.
I'm gonna go underrated is Man Unkind because it's such a cool bass line in it. But it's also, like super like a. It just sounds like it could have been an older Metallica song, so that's why I like it.
Spit Out the Bone is my second favorite, probably.
Spit Out the Bone's good, and I like Halo on Fire also. Spit Out the Bone is also pretty fucking thrashy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. That's probably along with Man Unkind, is probably my underrated. I like Am I Savage. It just sounds like they're trying to do Am I Evil? Or like, that one song? It's kind of exactly the same thing as that. It's like the singing is a lot like that. What do you rate this album?
6.5.
Wow, that's high. I thought you were going to give it the 5s. Cool. I'm going to go 7.1.
I never listened to this album.
You never listened to this album, but you know it's not like terrible. It's like
this is like the type of metal that like I feel like
makes Metallica better than everybody else.
No, I feel like people that like Avenged Sevenfold would like this album.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
You know Avenged Sevenfold gets like really metal-y, like singing, like screaming. So it's kind of not like that.
Well,
but like
not like, but they don't scream like death.
No, dude, they do.
Eventually,
they definitely. I'll show you a song right after this where they're screaming. Bro, Avenged Sevenfold is known for being like a band that plays a bunch of different type of metal. Like they do like rap metal, and they do like
trash
R&B. They're known for like they have an R&B type album.
Dumb.
It's so stupid. And they just came out with like a techno album. Anyways,
like Polyphia.
No, not like that. It's like legit like Linkin Park in 2015 Linkin Park. So like really bad. Anyways, I give it what did I give it? 7.1?
Yep.
Yeah. Moving on to their last album. We're not going to go over these other there's two other
cool album covers though.
Yeah, cool album covers. They have two other like live and other just like weird albums, but they're not like actual Metallica albums. 72 Seasons came out 2023. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Just came out. Listened to it a little bit. Didn't love it.
It's pretty bad. I feel like it's fair to say it's bad.
Yeah, it's worse than Hardwired.
For sure.
I have one saved.
I even think I remember I texted you like when it came out and I was like, bro, I even think it's worse than Hardwired. That's how you know it's bad.
Yeah.
Because I don't like Hardwired.
But Hardwired just is like, that's why I feel like I had to rate it like a 7.1 because it's just like mediocre. This is like bad. It's not good. I mean, they're literally in their 60s.
They should have had like 6 songs on this album.
Probably, and just like really focus on those 6. But you do love one song.
Lux Eterna, like, and it was single and it was amazing. And that's funny that you were like trashing James singing, because I think James singing is like what makes Lux Eterna so
Well, that's
fucking
one
good.
song. I think the rest of them.
And
I'm talking about.
then it's, well, to me, and I always say this to you, the rest of the album feels like they just wanted to make Lux Eterna again,
Yeah.
and we're like, and
They
but
tweaked by
they
releasing
couldn't.
their best song.
But
But also didn't, because then they.
because I'm glad I
Yeah,
know.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
I mean,
that
it's
they-
bad. The riffs, you can tell, like, it's just they're not like as the riffs aren't as intricate because they're. I mean, they're 65 years old, like, so they're not like really like.
And because they've already done thrash, I feel like they have a thing in their mind where they're like trying to be more of like a real rock band instead of like bro, you.
No, I felt like they're trying to recreate like a Kill 'Em All vibe when they're 65, and it's like, bro, just don't do that.
Yeah.
Because they're all shorter songs. They're
Damn
all.
near what they should do.
It's like Motorhead almost.
James should just like have an acoustic and do some acoustic shit, like singing.
I mean,
like,
I
cool
think
as
they
fuck.
should just
Bro,
retire.
like, yeah, facts. We love you, Metallica. We really do, and you should make music forever. But you're just not. You're not doing it anymore. You're the goats, though.
Yeah, I mean, bro, imagine like seeing like Kanye or like someone at 65, what music they're gonna make. I mean, it's hard to even be able to make an album when you're 65.
Right, especially when you're have to play an instrument that's like you're known for playing it extremely crazily.
Yeah, and now they don't.
And now they probably can't. I mean, he can, but it's like they're not making up stuff playing crazy.
And you're right, dude. They should have gone try to like do some slower or like or just like cleaner stuff. I think that's what I meant. Like they need to do cleaner, like maybe like trippy or sounding things, so Kirk then could do crazy solos.
What's the
like,
song that the Four Horsemen with an acoustic? Where it's that one concert in like '96 where that they should do. That's what I'm saying. Like they should do an album like that. I'm not saying like literally do their own songs, but like make it like that, where it's like kind of sounds like Leonard Skinner type like guitar, and then James singing cool as fuck on it.
I think what they should do. I think that what they should have done is like basically what the first part of Welcome Home Sanitarium is, but just right now.
You're right. Exactly. That's the exact vibe that I'm talking about. But you know, they are metal. They're a metal band, so they want to make metal. I feel like when you're this famous, it's hard to have that line of like, are we gonna make what we like, or are we gonna make what our fans like? Because they tried to do that and then got fucking ridiculed for it in the '90s for doing what they wanted to do. But who knows if that's what they wanted to do? What if that is actually like the cause of grunge that played the effect on them?
I think that's 100% what it was.
I know, but they always
really
say like we just wanted to do what we wanted to do. It's like
that is what they wanted to do. Well, because what they wanted to do was affected by grunge. Even if it's what they wanted to do,
right? Yeah.
The reason why they wanted to do that is because of grunge.
What are you rating this album? Or did we already say that?
No, we didn't. And I'm gonna go, dude. I might go even below Load and Reload, dude.
Really? I feel like I can't because it's just not like terrible. It's just not good at all.
I mean, I'm never gonna go back and listen to this.
I'm not either, but it's not like when I listen to it, I remember like, ugh. Like when I listen to Load and Reload, some of the songs I'm like literally like, oh my god, turn this off.
Yeah.
With this, it's like,
Okay, I'll go 5.
Yeah, I was gonna do a 5.0. Doing a 0.0. Wow, us noobs.
But I mean, like, I think part of the reason why I say it's so bad too is because I was pretty disappointed. I mean, I wasn't expecting like a crazy good album.
Yeah.
But I was
You were
expecting
hardwired.
I was expecting like another good song than Lux Eterna, and then there wasn't, and I was like, I'm like actually angry about this.
Yeah. At least one more.
Yeah,
at
at
least
least.
one. Fuck.
Or like something like there's no like really clean song. Like there's nothing on this album that's like, oh, they were trying to like, I don't know. They all sound the same to me, and it's all the same like.
And it's shitty that we have to end like our like going through the albums with like the shittier albums and like kind of like shitting on Metallica, because those 5 albums and Death Magnetic combined is like those 5 albums is the craziest run an artist has ever done in the history of the world. I name another band that did 5 albums in a row that are pretty much no skips.
Yeah.
I mean, I know other people probably completely disagree, but for me and him, 5 albums with no skips, 5 albums with no skips, bro. Like literally no skips.
But I will say, maybe there might be a skip on the Black Album, but 4 albums, no skips for sure.
I mean, I don't think I would say a skip on the Black Album, even though there's some I'm like, I'm not gonna listen to it a lot. It's like,
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
to put it in perspective.
I can see what you're saying though, but it's the Black
anyway.
Album though. So
Metallica is the best band of all time.
Metallica's the best band of all
Best
time.
metal band of all time.
Best metal band of all time.
Best live performing metal band of all time. My name's Gary and I'm an idiot. Why didn't you repeat that one?
Because it's not true. I was repeating the truth. The facts.
That's not. Well, it is true though.
We like other metal bands. It's just no one compares.
And we are like, I mean, we basically just like thrash metal.
We do just like thrash metal a lot more than a lot of other stuff.
I just think it's the coolest. I think, you know why I think I like it the best too? It's really the only metal that's like really metal but has that punk vibe to it.
Yeah.
And I just love that punk vibe to it because it's not the punk vibe that's like
skater.
It's like the punk, like, fuck you guys. We're going to do whatever we want.
We do what we want to do, and we're going to do it well.
And I like that shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... It was like... The way I like to put it with Metallica is they did their style of music better than anyone did their style of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, specifically thrash. Metallica perfected thrash. Thrash is not my favorite genre of all time. Like, not even close. Rap is probably my favorite genre, or like
By
just
far.
rock, or like, yeah, like
for me, it's rap for sure.
Yeah, it's rap for sure, probably for me too. But like, thrash was perfected by a band, like perfected
and
at a certain point.
Who like, and what person in what genre basically started the genre? And you know, like,
Motorhead.
Real metalheads are gonna say, well, Exodus and it was before Metallica.
Yeah, the real thrash before. Yeah.
And you know, Exodus is really blah, blah,
well, Kirk was on Exodus
and co-founder, I believe.
Yeah,
and
he was, and then left.
so they didn't like necessarily like create the genre, but like they basically did, dude. And
they created it because it's like
so. And then what kind of like in what other genre did someone basically create the sound of the genre and then end up also being the best at it?
Perfecting it.
Crazy.
I mean, maybe you could say Black Sabbath.
Yeah, I mean, Black Sabbath is the other goated.
Yeah. We couldn't do a podcast on Black Sabbath, but
no,
they're awesome.
Just know that they're really good.
Osbourne's
if you guys like any type of classic rock, you'll probably like a few Black Sabbath songs.
Even though it sounds like they're metal as fuck, they're really not. It's classic rock.
I actually showed Patrick a song, Hand of Doom.
Oh, nice.
And he was like, "Oh, I didn't think Black Sabbath would sound like this." And
yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's what I've been trying to say.
Is it the one that starts up with the drum like?
No.
Or what is that?
Oh,
what is that?
It's the one, yeah, with the bass.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's literally but that literally like sounds
it's a
like
hip hop beat.
Yeah,
bro.
like in the 90s they would use that. Maybe they did, bro. I bet there is a sample out there of like.
Well, there is, yeah, but
we're talking about Metallica. Metallica's the GOAT. We're gonna finish up this podcast. Next podcast, I don't even. Did we decide what we're doing for the next one?
Well, yeah, we got like the generations of rock and rap.
Yeah, so we're gonna do.
Are we gonna do the part a bonus Mac Miller episode?
Yeah, we could do that too. Yeah, so we got some stuff in store for you for next. We'll do the reactions. We have some social media reactions we need to react to, but we just focus on our two favorite our favorite artist and our favorite band. So now we'll get back to a little bit more of like a normal type podcast instead of just going over one thing. But we had to. We have to show you guys what our favorite shit is.
And because like we're gonna do the generations of rock, and so we like this is like our favorite rock, and then we're gonna tell you all the other rock shit. And Mac Miller is
pretty much our favorite
rapper.
Even though it's hard to do that.
It's hard to say.
It's hard to do that
because he's so like different, but not. But
well, it's because he's versatile.
Yeah.
But you guys already know that we love Mac Miller. Finishing up here, let us know your thoughts below. If you are not a Metallica fan or a metal fan, let us know your thoughts if you go through it and enjoyed our commentary, even though you have no fucking clue what we're talking about. Or if you went and listened to the songs and actually liked it.
I challenge you guys, if you're still here, if you really listen to this whole thing, then you should really listen to at least one Metallica song that we mentioned. Just one.
If you listen to this whole thing and you're not going to ever go listen to Metallica,
that's a little weird.
That's really weird.
Because if I was never going to listen to Metallica, I would have clicked off of this video
immediately ago. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching.
Peace out.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts and what you want us to do on other podcasts.